Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Destiny 2 is slowly but surely improving, much like Destiny 1 back in the day. With every subsequent patch and DLC drop, the game is shaping up to be something better and better. And I feel that this should be congratulated. This is always a good thing. It sucks that most games, well, all Destiny games so far have shipped in a broken, pointless, lacking state, but it's getting better, and it'll hopefully still get better, right? And stay better, and it's just better all the time in the future, forever. Except Destiny 3. So what's to stop Destiny 3 from just resetting everything once again? You know, we lose all of the armor, all of our levels, probably all of our subclasses, everything, and just restart over again with some new exotic weapons and armors to work with, and probably the same but slightly tweaked, or maybe one new subclass. I don't know what they have planned. But the point is, Destiny 3 as its own standalone game that is unrelated to Destiny 2 should not be a thing, and here are 5 reasons why. Let me preface these 5 reasons by saying Destiny 3 is probably likely already a thing. It's probably already in pre-production development, and it just kind of sucks for that to be the case. But if you listen to the rest of this video, you're going to find out why that sucks. The first reason why Destiny 3 should not be a thing is because there's always the chance that they will have to scrap some of the work that they do during the first 1 or 2 years of pre-production and development and restart it all again. It happened with Destiny 1. It happened with Destiny 2. Who's to say that it won't happen with Destiny 3, especially when they are not using a completely new engine. They are sticking with the same engine that they had in Destiny 1, except it's been tuned and tweaked to be a little bit more efficient, but it's still alarmingly slow to develop on. For example, like I heard opening a Crucible map takes something like 8 hours. I mean, it used to take like 16 hours, but now it only takes a third of a day to open up a map so that they can start making edits and changes. Man, that's great. You know, who needs a new engine when you have that, right? Who wants to spend more money on making a more optimized engine to make better content quicker? Nah. But my point is that Destiny 3, yeah, probably gonna have to scrap some of that content or cut some content so that they can turn it into DLC and have it ready by launch so that they can sell it to you a month later, for sure. I really don't want to be this cynical, but God, for the past 4 years, this is literally what they have done, and I see no evidence of it changing. Reason number 2 that Destiny 3 should not be a thing. The story. The story right now it's in a good neutral state. There was a big event, and then the Traveler came to life, squashed the biggest immediate threat, and basically changed the whole galaxy by waking up, and all of these new things are coming to stop the Traveler because it's basically a new golden age. It is the perfect place to just continue to add new content and new stories and new enemies and new threats, because right now we're just in this kind of neutral state where everything is as it should be. And really, I cannot overstate how important it is for the Traveler to finally be awake. This is the key factor in why Destiny 3 should not be a thing, because if Destiny 3 is made, they're going to have this whole new story, probably involving the Traveler and probably involving, I don't know, one of the different types of enemies that there is. But there was literally no point, because Destiny 2 served as a really good opportunity to start fresh and build from the ground up, so that everything from the game mechanics to the role-playing to the actual story was basically just a soft reset. And they really can't do that all again and get away with it this time. If they decide to reset everything and to make a story where, oh, we lose all of our powers again and all that, that's not going to work. That is not going to stand from a story standpoint, a lore standpoint. There's going to be massive red flags everywhere. People are going to be pissed. Riots in the streets. Guardians fed up with the Traveler's bullshit, trading away their light for drugs into the black market for money. So if Destiny 3 did happen, they would have to have some whole new story. And if any of the story that Bungie has given us so far in the Destiny franchise is anything to go by, then it's not going to turn out well. So really, they should just do themselves a favor, not focus on having this whole new grand story, and instead give us slightly smaller, decent stories in their upcoming DLCs, and actually give us a big expansion. And I'll talk about that later. That'll be like the final reason. The third reason Destiny 3 should not be made is simply from a content and, like I said, that foundation, that bedrock of what has given Destiny 2 the potential that it has, right now is in a more or less refined state from the first game. It's to the point where I don't see the point in them refining it further for a third game and then losing what we have already, because there is always the chance that going from Destiny 2 to Destiny 3 as two different standalone products, we will be losing things in that translation. We will be losing a massive amount of different armors and weapons. We will be losing probably straight up features, all the story missions from all the DLCs and the main story and all of the adventures in the patrol zones and all of the control zones themselves and all of the Crucible game types and the new game modes that they have planned, and basically all the maps and contents and guns and everything from the DLCs in the past and from the base game and from the future are going to be likely not all there in Destiny 3. I mean, for example, take the Destiny 2 base game. Going from Destiny 1 Year 3 to Destiny 2 Year 1, we lost a lot of things in translation, and it wasn't just because of the story with Gaul. It's very likely going to happen again in Destiny 3, and they're not going to be able to give us a good excuse from a story perspective, from a development perspective. It's going to fall short, so why even bother? I mean, for the love of the Traveler and all of its vague glory, they're still bringing over old content from Destiny 1 into Destiny 2 in the form of exotics, and who knows what else they're going to bring back over the course of the next 2 years. And this ties into reason number 4, balance. Destiny 2 is still in a big balance flux. We started with 2 different primaries and then like a power slot for basically anything from a shotgun to a rocket launcher. Well, later in September, there's going to be weapon slot changes. We also started with the base game with having no randomization in gun rolls. Well, that's also going to be changing in September, with probably the mod system being overhauled too, and maybe down the line having the whole subclass system reworked as well. Who knows what goofy-ass plans they may have for Destiny 3 when it comes to the weapon slot changes, or the weapon randomization, or really any of the balance in Destiny 2. Because if Destiny 1 to Destiny 2 is anything to go by, and it is, the weapon balance, the tuning, the community outcries, the expectations, the advice that we gave them going from that transition period, they ignored it completely. Again, forgive my cynicism, but Bungie has proven themselves to be really freaking dense. And stubborn, can't forget that. And finally, reason number 5. Destiny as a whole, as a franchise, should turn itself into a game much more akin to Warframe than it should be its own standalone series like Call of Duty. I can't think of a franchise more, with the lore that it has, with the gameplay that it has, with the potential that it has, that deserves this more than Destiny. Now, I can completely understand why they had to make the jump from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2. It was held back in some design ways with the old consoles in mind, and there wasn't a PC port, but Destiny 2 fixed all of that. It was a fresh, clean state from the bottom, completely rebuilt for all platforms, and it really could have just been done better, and for the most part, Destiny 2 was that objectively better version of Destiny 1. I mean, in some ways, don't get me started, but yes, I do think it was, especially with these new changes coming. By September, it's going to be a completely different game, and in my eyes, better than Destiny 1 Year 3. But tell me, what is the point if none of it matters, and Destiny 3 is created, and all of this potential just goes away and is replaced by something new and shiny, when it could just be added onto what we have already? We already have the perfect sending off point from a story perspective, from the main story perspective, for new things to come in and change things. I mean, look at the Warmind story. I mean, I'm not going to spoil anything for those who haven't finished it yet, but the ending basically opens more doors for interesting things to come, and it's possible that in Destiny 3 none of it will matter. And let's just have a little thought experiment for a minute. Wouldn't it be cool if, say, over the next 5 years, Destiny 2 was continually iterated on and given more content, more everything for like the next 5 or even 10 years, just more and more and more, and better refinements, and eventually like a graphical overhaul, and just more. Hundreds of exotic weapons, hundreds of exotic armors for each subclass, 2 or 3 new subclasses, subclass overhauls, new content, 10, 20 raids, 30, 40 Crucible maps, a bunch of different Crucible, different modes. And as long as the content and the stories were all interesting and passable for the new features to really shine through, you know, they could charge us $20 every 3 months or every 2 months or 4 months, or even more, or maybe even less, and have some content free, and just have this continual revenue source of new content, expansions, DLC, cosmetics to buy, cosmetics to earn, just over the years, man. Wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't it be great if it was literally like Warframe in that way? I don't want Destiny 2 to become like Warframe with its, certain specific Space Ninja brand of gameplay. Destiny 2, what it does gameplay-wise is perfect. I like it. I like it for what it is. It's Halo, but more. But it could be more than that. So much more. And it would be a shame if, due to greed or incompetence or overly controlling publishers, or Activision, that dream could not be a reality. So let me know what you think in the comments down below about this whole dilemma. I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and it just sucks to see Destiny 2 improve so much, so quickly. I can see the developers respond to me, well, not to me personally, but to the community in ways that they never did for Destiny 1. They're taking big steps forward with content changes, like for the fact that like 3 weeks after this last DLC, they're going to give us faction rallies improvements, Crucible Labs, which is like that PTS for the Crucible, like I was saying, and their first batch of exotic armor sandbox changes. That's so fast. That's so fast for Bungie. Man, and then we're like a month later, a bunch of new stuff. That's great. It seems like they're going to have something for us at least once a month in terms of new additions to the game, new changes. Now imagine having that new stuff every month for the next 5 years instead of the next 2 or 3 years, and then Destiny 3 comes out and it's all washed away. And then Destiny 3 will last maybe another 3 years after that, and then, I don't know, they'll move on to the next game and it'll just be over. The Destiny universe, the lore, the gameplay. No, it doesn't deserve to end like that. It deserves to just continue to grow and get better. But yeah, leave your comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe for more content like this on Destiny 2. Thank you for watching, and I will end this with one last question directed at Bungie. Do you really have our best interests at heart?